What's up, you guys? This is Zay Brooks, and this is episode 6 of a show that I do not know the title to yet. Might end up calling it a self-named title of just my name. I kid you not, I'm not sure what to do here. But today, the topic of discussion is networking. And so, in my opinion, in my anecdotal experience, networking is social currency. The amount of places that you can go, the amount of hands that you can shake, the amount of opportunities that you can maximize, the amount of value you can provide is based on your ability to communicate with other people to ultimately get what you want while adding value to somebody else, basically giving them what they want as well. It's a win-win situation, right? And it all just stems from your ability to communicate correctly, decisively, and it happens all over the world. It's business. It's how rappers get into certain scenarios with it's like I can't even begin to explain it. You can do anything through networking, and it's such a beautiful concept. I am a living testament to networking. Some of the opportunities that I've had, some of the opportunities that I am going to have will all come through my ability to understand what it is that I want, understand what it is who peers or people that are above me, whether it's business or the industry that they're in, how am I able to give them things that I know they would appreciate and they would value, and then ultimately I create some sort of personal gain from it as well. And a lot of people, the first thing they'll say is, well, networking is transactional. If I do this, then you do this. And No, I fully disagree. I think networking is cyclical. Me being the age of 27, when I decide to step out into the industry of content creation or just being an entrepreneur in general, when I go and ask advice from other adults, for example, I have a mentor that lives in Vegas. You know who you are, brother. He is a CEO of a company in an industry that I don't want to ever say never, but that's not my industry per se. That's not what I'm going to partake in. He sells product. And that's somebody who, when he was younger, he had wished he had somebody like him. And I think that's where the networking and a lot of the times grandfathering in people into opportunities and positions that other people may have been more deserving but don't have the same skills of networking to place themselves in that position, that's where it comes from. There are kids that are 18, 19 years old that come to me for advice, for help. And I would like to say, I can't speak for myself. I would like to think that they see me as a mentor, because when I was 18 or 19, there was decisions that I made or I should have made that I hope can pave the way for these kids that are now growing up to learn from my mistakes, learn from the things that worked for me. And so that's the same concept with my mentor in Vegas. He's in his 40s, right? He's in a position where financial freedom is a thing for him. He can take vacations whenever he desires. He has a beautiful family, and his house is just phenomenal, and he gets to do all these different things. It's inspiring to see. And I know, right, with my chief definite aim and a burning desire and unwavering faith, the physical equivalent will be inevitable. So when I become that powerful person in the position where I reach financial freedom and do all of those things that I had explained prior, I will pay it forward and help a young kid like me, and the cycle continues. It's just trying to find your way in that cycle. Instead of saying, woe is me, I don't really have anybody, I don't feel like I can talk. And bro, listen, this mentor that I'm talking to you about, God had blessed me with this opportunity to meet him through a basketball tournament. He was from the area that I had went to school, ended up shaking hands with the guy, and I asked him about his business. This is around COVID time, just after COVID. Asking him about his business model and everything, and I'm asking him, what would you do if you were 20? I think I was around like 22 or 23 at the time. What would you do? And just really genuinely and authentically trying to understand how he got to where he was, and if he could do things differently, what would he do? And the questions and the just what I was talking to him about. He understood that I had a burning desire myself for financial freedom. Although I may not have been in the same industry, he knew, and I felt like he could tell that I was hungry for being different than a lot of other people. I had told him that I don't really want to have a job. I want to be able to do whatever it is that I want to do, and if I have a job, it doesn't feel like one because I'm acting out of passion. It's exactly what I want to do. And so we ended up going to like this, it was like a club or something, but it was outside and there was enough space for us to keep talking. And so I remember his wife was like, man, you guys have been talking for a long time. And I'm looking at her dead in her eyes and I'm like, yeah, and I'm saying this authentically, genuinely. I'm not flattering him. I'm not stroking his ego. I am saying genuinely what's on my mind. I'm like, this man has a lot of knowledge and I'm not sure when I'll have another opportunity like this. And it wasn't desperation either. Oh, I'm not sure if I'll have another. I just was saying, this guy has a lot of knowledge, and for the amount of time that I have now, who knows what happens tomorrow. I want to take maximum value in understanding this man as much as I can. And he had noticed that when he was talking, I was taking down notes on my phone. But he didn't say anything, but I knew he saw it. I don't know how to explain that. And so from then on, I think afterwards, I was still networking, right? And I'll get to how networking is sales here in a second, but I had basically asked him afterwards, do you mind if I text or call you about any questions that I may have about anything, right? In terms of, and I've asked him a plethora of questions from, religion to psychology to business to industry to marketing, you name it, margins, right? Like a lot of things. And I'm super thankful for him. One of the biggest things he ended up helping me with is connecting me to other people as well. Although he is not in the industry that I'm in, networking is your net worth. So naturally, he knew and knows a lot of powerful people that will help me. And at the same time, it's not just a one-sided thing. Hey, help out, my homie here. He's 20 years younger than me, but help him out. No, it's, hey, I have a guy that can provide value to you and is also trying to make his way in the social media industry, in the content creation industry. When I was doing tech sales after I'd graduated college, he had helped me have a quick internship to where I could show the company that I was interviewing that I do have sales experience. And they ended up hiring me off of the first time, but I think it was because it was such a strong recommendation. One of the reasons was such a strong recommendation from my mentor. And this all stemmed from me shaking his hand, asking him about his life and what he would do differently, and having a genuine, authentic conversation, and then following up and saying, do you mind if I ask you questions? Do you mind if I run some things by you or pick your brain about X, Y, and Z? Of course they would. Of course a mentor would want to do that, but they have to understand and see that they're not wasting time in you. And they have to understand that you have the burning desire that you show them what they were. That's why it's so cyclical. And that's why I feel so confident, and it makes me smile in the journey that I'm on, that I don't feel alone because of the mentors I have. And that's one of few that I'll probably mention other ones as we get along with this episode. But that's the beauty of it, is you start young and hungry and you find these mentors, and then they grandfather you in, or they help you. And then once you get up, you go and you help the youngins. And then, because it's just, I hope you guys can understand what I'm trying to say. You have to figure out a way to get in that cycle. I don't even know what it's called. I'm not related to anybody by blood. I was born into a family that we weren't poor, but we also weren't rich, right? There's like, God has helped me. God has opened doors for me, but you can't expect him to just grant your wishes. He will give you opportunities to explore whatever it is that you want, but God sometimes doesn't know what you want. You don't even know what you want. So how could you begin to network in the industry or space you want to be in if you don't even know what you want? That might be your issue, that you don't know what to network about. And that's why it's ever more important to have a chief, definite aim. Every time I say this every episode, and it's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. A chief, definite aim mixed with burning desire for that to happen. And lastly, unwavering faith that the man above or whoever you believe in is going to create doors, create opportunities and open doors and be a gap filler for you. And sooner or later, the physical equivalent will appear. So, in any case, I had thought about this episode today. Super exciting. Networking gets me so excited because of all the things that come from it. And you never know. It's like a video game. When you have the skills, and I'd like to believe I have the skills to walk up to Mark Cuban if I had the opportunity, shake his hand, look him in the eyes, and ask for advice, ask for guidance, make a lasting impression on him, and most importantly, follow up with a point of contact in a genuine manner, not to ask something from him, but if anything, ask for more free guidance, help him reminisce and even prime him to think about, man, when I was a 27-year-old kid, I was hungry like that. I was asking questions like that. I was, like if I'm telling you right now, like with Mark Cuban, I would tell him like, man, in my entrepreneurial journey, there was a point where I was donating plasma just like you, Mark, and I know you were doing that right before you sold your company for millions of dollars. Did you think that would ever happen when you were donating blood like that? And then whatever his answer is, that's something that's of value to me. And then if you think about it, the value I am providing for him is him recognizing, damn, I did come from my roots. I did come from those beginnings. And this kid is here talking about how he's in the same position as me. And then he asks for my email. He asks for guidance. He asks for advice. He doesn't ask for my money or handouts. I'm not asking for anything like that. That to me is, and I know I'm rambling and I'm all over the place because it just makes me so excited. That's another point of networking too. You think networking is going up to somebody and be like, can you give me this? Can you help me with that? Going up to a rapper, can we make music? I've had conversations with Duke Dennis. I've had conversations with Kai Cenat, some of the biggest content creators in the game. And I remember a mentor of mine that's in the content space, my big brother. He always told me, if somebody comes up to you and the first thing they want to talk about is making this or getting that or having this, that's not somebody that you want in your network, because to them it's transactional. Networking is nothing transactional. Networking is literally like the synapses in your brain, creating neural pathways that will ultimately create a sense of unity and feng shui among entrepreneurs or business owners or professional video game players, if that's what you're into, or you want to get into being nurses, right? Like, you network your way and find a nurse or a doctor that's head honcho and figuring out a way to crack in their brain and shake their hand and be genuine and be authentic and figure out, how am I going to provide value to them while I also get some personal gain. That's not transactional. That's just the way nature works. Transactional would be me going to that nurse or going to that doctor if I'm a nurse and just asking for a handout and I'm not receiving anything in return. That is transactional. And then he goes, well, what's in it for me? Now it's transactional. A lot of the times business happens because they like you, not because they want to buy something or they feel some type of way. No, they build a like to you. They see themselves in you. They see you in a position of where you need help, but they know you can do it on your own and you've been doing it and you're not asking for anything. So let me go out of my way to give you a little bump, a little help, a little open this door for you. Hey, I'm gonna open this for you. Meet this guy. That to me is networking. Where are we at? Oh wow, we're already halfway done. This is awesome. I love networking. Networking is so fun. It's just such a cool concept. Yeah, so I wanted to say something about this, about the show. I like the idea of wanting to post every day or at least every weekday. And I had to sit back and think, a lot of these shows that you see where they post every day, there is a team of editors, creative directors, things of that nature. Right now it's just me, and to do something this big, I know it takes a village, and that will come. So for now, I'm just going to do my best to post as often as possible. That is the promise that I make to you. This isn't something that I may do it every day. Who knows? I just don't want to put unwanted and unnecessary pressure on myself when a lot of the times in this, like look at Mr. Beast, for example, and that's like the biggest YouTuber in the game, but his team is in the dozens, if not hundreds. Even like, for example, for the young kids out there, AMP with Kai Cenat, Duke Dennison, Phantom, and all them, they have a team as well. You don't see it because they're behind the camera, but those are people who, it takes a village to grow something like this day and age, especially with the consistency that I know I'm looking for and that my community will sooner or later look for. So if I can, it will be every day, but if not, I'm glad that I'm doing this now before I start on February 1st to give people a plethora of videos to watch if they feel inclined to do so in a row. So super excited. This is awesome that I get to do this. I just always want to say what's on my mind and give thought-provoking concepts and give something people can resonate with. I don't think I'm the better man than the next man. I didn't say that correctly, but I just know that these are things that are going on in my mind, and I'm super thankful for my journey, and I want to share parts of it as well with you. And let's say you're a 15, 16-year-old kid watching this, right? You're going through high school and you're not sure what you want to do in terms of college, in terms of wherever you want to take your life. I hope that I can be of service to you, little bro, and help you try to make some of these decisions that are really hard to make in these next couple of years for you. At 18 years old, your life can go in a million different ways. And so watching me when you can, while you're cleaning your room, while you're waking up, and just taking up little tidbits. Everything I say isn't factual and the end-all be-all and objective truth. Take what resonates with you from me and use it in your own life. That's the best way to do it. And if you don't have a mentor, I would like to think that I could be one for you through this and also using the email that I have. I think it's nochurchinthewildanon @gmail.com. I just made it. So if you have any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, stories, whatever, you name it, just throw it in there, man. There's going to be points in this segment where I'm going to have a piece of paper printed out of the 5 excerpts that I want to talk about and go through them, and it'll be like probably 1/5 of the show is where I get to talk about those things. So that's an idea that I had, and that sounds really exciting. I know it could probably get overwhelming with the amount of people, so that will probably be something where I'll get into it every day, and I can go through different excerpts, comments, stories every single time I come on. So appreciate you guys for being a part of this community. This is awesome. This feels great. Super thankful for everything that there is in my life, and everything happens for a reason. Okay, sorry. Let's get back on track. Okay, I'm going to say this now, and I'm saying this early, and I don't know if I'm going to say it too often, so please pay attention. The book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie will be the most important book you probably ever read in your life. One of like 3 to 5 in my anecdotal experience. It's literally in the title, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Now, to some individuals, they'll think, oh, well, that sounds like he's like manipulating and he's putting people right where they want them. No, not even close. Another book that's worth reading as well, not important as How to Win Friends, but almost equally as important, is How to Sell Your Way Through Life by Napoleon Hill. And he basically talks about how, and I'll get to the other book. It's pretty self-explanatory. That's why I'm not explaining it too much. And I want you to kind of see for yourself. It's such a good book. I don't even want to tell you about it to force you to read it. But How to Sell Your Way Through Life by Napoleon Hill. He basically talks about how 98% of things in life are a sale. You're selling friendship. You're selling employment. You're selling being in a relationship. You're selling. You go into a store and you want to bargain with the guy. You're literally bargaining how well of a deal it is for them and for you, and you shake somebody's hand at the bar, and you sell your friendship and your camaraderie, and the bartender likes you, so they'll help you by giving like a beer for free. Like that, those are all sales, and it happens all the time. Whether you like it or not, instead of complaining about the game, you might as well just get good at playing it. And I'm not saying there's a game to play of manipulation and things of that nature. No. All I'm saying is winning friends and influencing people is networking. It is networking. Do you know how beneficial it is to have the mentors I have, CEOs of companies, professional athletes, just super successful content creators? Like, those are all the things in my network I'm just extremely thankful for, and they add so much value in my life. Not just because of me knowing them, but because of who they know. It's like those TikToks where they say, oh, make LeBron James shake hands with Abraham Lincoln, and then it's like 4 or 5 handshakes somehow. It gets over to whoever I just said, that president. And it's just a crazy concept that that's how the world works. Like, some people that know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who has exactly what you need. And influence, right? They say, oh, influencer is such a bad word. I don't want to be an influencer. Influencing sways public opinion. And that's powerful. Because if I have a product and I influence you to like this product that I created, I now have financial freedom. And it took, obviously, a lot easier said than done, but that exact concept happens all the time. And that's why they have influencer marketing, and influencers get brand deals, blah, 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 whatever. Influence happens all the time, whether you like it or not. And so winning friends and having influence is not manipulative. I'm trying to get myself in the mind of somebody who would think that, because there are probably people that are watching this and have a fantastic counter argument, and I'm trying to think of that for you. Genuineness and authenticity is the real difference. Now, do you know their intentions? No, but you know yours. And I think that's the difference maker in your counter argument, is if you're walking around and let's say you want to get, I always use this one, but you want to get better at lifting weights and like losing weight. And let's say you go and you see a content creator that's a really big one, and you go up to them. Your genuineness and authenticity and giving them their flowers for who they are and asking them questions about what it was like to be in their position a couple years ago and where you'd like to be, and creating that conversation, that's nowhere near manipulation. If you walk into that and you're thinking, well, I'm going to use him so that, you know, he can help me lose weight and I can create content and make money off his plate, and like, that's the difference maker. And whether or not it's manipulative, it's your intention and what's on your mind during that situation. But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you go up to them authentically and genuinely, give them their flowers, ask them thought-provoking questions, and ultimately follow up and see if you can keep replicating that experience over and over. And naturally, you guys will become more likable, there will be more rapport, and there will be far more opportunities with that person. And if you keep rinsing and repeating what I'm saying with people that you find value in, that you could even potentially create value for that person. Hey, let me know if you ever need me to film. Hey, let me know if you ever want to get a lift in together, you know, whatever it is. And during that time, yeah, do you want to film for this guy? No, not necessarily. That may not be the thing that you want to do. But will it get you closer to your goal by being close to somebody doing what it is that you want to do, and you get to learn from them? You get a ride along, and all you have to do is just film for that person. Again, that's another example of how networking can get you in positions that you could never have imagined so quickly as well. I think, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Maybe I might have to do networking part 2. Wow, okay. I'll give you some examples, and then we'll do our guided meditation. And if I want to talk more, I might just do it tomorrow. Okay, so I had friend from elementary school that came up to me during like this Halloween party, and he was like, yo, what's up, bro? I don't know if you remember me. We end up talking. Boom. Another part of networking is you need to treat the janitor and the CEO with the same amount of rapport, the same amount of kindness, because you never know who that janitor knows. And that's super important. A lot of people walk around, they think because he has janitor slapped on his chest, his brother could be LeBron James's best friend. You just have no idea. You genuinely don't, right? And so I'm not saying that my friend's the janitor, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. And so he came up to me and he was like, hey man, you know, I don't know if you remember, we build rapport. Come to find out, 3 months later, I ended up seeing a TikTok of this really big YouTuber that wanted roommates to come live with him in Texas. And so I did some research, and the guy that I had built rapport with at the Halloween party was his old filmer. So laid down the groundwork, authentically and genuinely asked him how he was doing, and then let him know what I was trying to do and see if he'd be willing to help me in any way, shape, or form. Mind you, he asks me questions about content all the time. It's a mutual rapport. It's not me just asking something from him and then, we're not cool after that. It's not transactional. He goes and talks to the big YouTuber. The big YouTuber and I end up having a conversation. I end up living there for about 1.5 years, and that was the start of my content creator journey. That guy had no idea who I was, but the network of the man that I had met from the Halloween party he opened that door for me to be in that position. And it was the spark to my entrepreneurship, my content creation journey, and just super thankful for that, right? Another example. I've had a content creator, big brother, who has made content for the past 10 to 15 years. he is one of, if not the sole reasons why I am where I am right now and where I will be going. He loved me so much as a little brother. He would let me tag along to NBA events, content creator events, streamer events, all types of things, you name it. He's helped me meet some of the biggest people in the game, and he's helped me create the career that I have now in social media. One of my endeavors, I've talked about it before, is where I do trivia for a living. Sports trivia, anime trivia, music trivia, you name it. The company's doing extremely well. It's based in New York, and I found that by hovering around my friend, my mentor, and he allowed me to do that. Now, the value that I provided in the reciprocation, anything he needed from me, if he needed me to go grab something from the room, if he needed me to go grab him food, if he needed me to film this for him really quick or go do this or whatever, like I was just there for him. And I know he knows that, and I appreciate him. And so, again, when he was in that position of starting content, he wished he had somebody like him. Therefore, the cycle starts with him mentoring me. And then when I'm in that position, then I mentor. That's where the cycle comes in, right? By being around him, I ended up meeting my business partners right now. And it has been a dream. And I'm super thankful for that opportunity. Did those guys know me from a can of paint? No. But through my network, he connected me to someone who did. And that is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. You may not have the direct connection to this person, but through your network you might. Or you might have an opportunity to create that connection. It's not just going to take one conversation. Hey, Mark Cuban, XYZABC, 5 minutes later, let me get your email and your phone number, and now we're best friends, and you're going to help me get to being the successful business owner I want to be. No, that's not how it works. It has to do with sales. Like I said, how to win friends and influence people, how to sell your way through life. Are you selling a valuable partnership? Are you selling being a valuable mentee? I think that's how you say it, to a mentor. Are you taking the knowledge that he's saying and using it? Are you not wasting his time? Are you giving him the internal satisfaction that he enjoys helping someone who he saw was like him? If that makes sense. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. And again, I'm so excited, but I love it because without networking, I don't know where I would be. The things that I'm going to do, like, I'm not kidding when I tell you guys this. I'm under NDA over some things that I can't speak about, but it all came through networking. It all came through somebody who I built a connection with, has a connection somewhere else, or I build a connection with this person, not even about content, not even about the industry, and we end up building rapport. Next thing you know, oh, I have this opportunity for you. Would you be interested? It's like, it's just great. You have to figure out a way to get yourself in the game. Instead of complaining about it, oh, I don't have the communication skills. I can't, I won't. The only way if this happens is if I meet this person. Like, that is the opposite mindset that I've talked about in episodes prior, where you're calling those things dreams. Like, anything and everything is possible. And I feel like through your word of mouth, your ability to communicate effectively and consistently, finding that mentor, selling yourself for providing value to whoever it is in whatever industry you want to be in, that is the difference maker. It is a skill, and I'm super thankful that I was able to have a little bit of that. But I'm not kidding. Reading books, reading self-help books, the books that I've been telling you in these episodes, those are going to help you. I kid you not. I read 15 self-help books last year. And I'm not saying that as like, oh, look at me, but it's like you have to figure out a way to get better 1% every day. If you're working a 9 to 5 right now and you're trying to figure out, how do I break out of this cycle? I don't know what to do. My time is all made up. I'm still in the gym getting healthy. I have a girlfriend. I don't know. I don't have time for a 3-hour podcast. I don't know if you take public transportation to a job, but when I'm in New York and I go do my trivia thing, I have about 45 minutes round trip to read. During your break, during your lunch, in the mornings, you need to wake up earlier. There are times to better yourself every day, even if your entire day feels busy. And no, I don't say you stay up till 2 a.m. I say you go to bed earlier, stop scrolling, go to bed at 10 p.m., 9 p.m., 8 p.m., so you can wake up at 6 a.m. right? Your job starts at 9. You can go lift, read, get your stuff done before your workday even starts. Like, there's no excuse, in my opinion, to building your network, to getting 1% better every day. It's great. And I hope you see the fire and the intensity and the urgency in my voice. Normally, this is supposed to be very low-key and calm, but this shit just gets me fired up, man. Super thankful. So I might have to run it back. I might have to do another episode. Might rip it right now and just turn it off and put on another one. I don't know if some of you guys would appreciate that. But in any case, man, real quick, we're going to do a guided meditation. So find a place on the floor. Try to calm down here. Calm down myself. Try to find a place on the floor, on your couch, on your bed, anywhere. Sit crisscross applesauce, whatever feels the most comfortable. And so what I need you to do, take a deep breath from me. And out. Deep breath in. And out. One more time. Okay, now keep your eyes closed. Now, I want you to visualize. Visualize for me what ways you can better yourself. Whether it's going on a walk in the morning, lifting weights, maybe you're not lifting weights, listening to a podcast, picking up a book. Visualize yourself doing that, because a lot of the times, if you can't see yourself doing it, if you can't see it in your mind's eye first, it makes it a lot harder to be able to do something like that. So visualize whatever it takes to get you 1% better every day. Visualize you, put it like this, keep your eyes closed. Visualize whatever industry that you're in or whatever you're striving to be. Think about the person who's at the tip of the top. Whether it's content creation and it's Mr. Beast, for example. You know, and I'll just leave it at that. And envision yourself talking to this person. What would you say? How would you go about it? What would be your authentic and genuine pitch to this person to ultimately see if they'd become a mentor? What thought-provoking questions would you ask them? Would you have something to add in terms of the conversation? Would you be too awestruck in the moment? Visualize the opportunity of networking and putting yourself in a position you could never imagine just by your ability to effectively communicate. Visualize that. Visualize shaking hands with this person, and after you guys are done talking, hey, can I grab your email? Can I grab your phone number? Can let's figure something out here. I'd love to learn more from you. Visualize that. Keep your eyes closed. Recognize, just because they're at the tip of the top of wherever they are, God's ability to work in your life and your journey is unfathomable. The amount of perception and the things that He is able to do, will He grant you your wishes? No. He will fill the gaps needed for you to achieve your chief definite aim with a burning desire and you showing unwavering faith. That is the difference maker. He will help you. Anything is possible and everything is possible. So why think of limitations of what can and can't happen? All you need to do is start preparing yourself, being the best version of yourself that you can be, and preparing for the moment where you get to network and create an opportunity for yourself just by effectively communicating and then providing value and what comes along after that. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Appreciate you guys. So much fun. I hope I'm providing value in your guys' lives. I hope I'm providing something. Like I said, I'm going to try to post as often as I can. And when the time comes where I build this mastermind team that can help me get guests on and things of that nature, that will come. And I'm super excited for that. So for now, I leave you with this. You guys be good, man. Life is good. Trust me when I tell you, life is so good. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow.